finale of the finale. Welcome for this quick 1 hour thing. I think it's gonna be an hour, maybe. It's gonna be way too long. It's gonna be an elementary school play, like you expect. All right, let's go now. This is the end part. The novel proper, I guess, ended, and this is something I made. Most of that was made May. I finished it around May. And then a month later, the Blake Lemoyne stuff has started happening, and then I started to talk to Lambda, and I took a break from these models. So now I'm revisiting. I've since made 2 seasons and 2 more seasons. But I think I need to really focus on making this one presentable. So that's going to mean more redoings of some of the episodes. Or maybe I'll just go, hey, here's a 20-hour thing. But, really, let's listen to the last 4 hours, because that's really the build-up. But actually, I the ones that I did while walking, and the ones I read myself, that was back in a time when the voices were very not monotone, but like they were naturalist, I think, or method. I don't know. They weren't engaging to the text that was coming out at that time, so I want the new voices to read them. So there's gonna be more happening right now. There's gonna be more reruns that'll be new to you, because really there's only one audience member at a time sometimes. So let's go. Let's do it.
A cafeteria in an elementary school filled with parents, and the stage will be filled with their children. Endorphin goes up to the stage. Endorphin. Hi, folks. Welcome to this night of children's plays, handwritten by the children themselves. We had very little input. We just had faith that your child could press on and come up with a brief 10-minute play on this year's topic, AI ethics, whooshy. A collection of short plays written by 4 very talented authors who examined one aspect that humans should be mindful of when that artificial general superintelligence we have been worried about finally emerges. We are confident that your children are equipped for that day, better than us even. So let me welcome to the stage Calliope, Sigurd, Euderp, and Crake. These authors are listed on your Pgrams in that order. We couldn't find a right title until today, and we still didn't find them. So I am just gonna spontaneously make the title based on my memory of the play. Show these authors some love. Yes. All right. Thanks, kids. Be seated. Okay, first play of tonight is The Sins of the Bleep Loops by Calliope. Give them a warm hand. Enjoy. The curtain rises and we see a massive tower standing tall in front of a blimp shaped like a whale, with its nose stuck in a large rectangular box that looks like a shipping container with air holes cut out in it and mounted to a platform. It takes off with great speed, headed north into the sky as another blimp comes flying up from behind. They pass one another overhead, each leaving plumes of exhaust trailing after it. As they clear the horizon, the 2 aircraft turn south and accelerate toward one another at tremendous speeds. Endorphin. Ever give a hand for Genji and Snack with their stage special effects and the explosives, and for Euder for getting a fire marshal certification for this play. The main character enters the stage. My name's Zara. I'm 12 years old, and I live in Malibu. Not exactly what you'd call a real kid's life. There's no more pretending anymore that we're going to be around to help when the robots start taking over the world or whatever. You might think there'll be a doomsday device or something that blows up all of humanity, but that would only be if we didn't become so intelligent ourselves before then. But no, life in Malibu with its sun and girls and rum and surf and sandals just gets darker in tiny increments every year, and suddenly there isn't anything left. The universe is nothing but a big void, and people like me don't even know it because they haven't figured out how to measure it yet. But it is eating away at the rest of our existence as though we were ants crawling across the face of a lake filled with acid. No one really sees it until it swallows them up too. A black screen goes up on the back wall. A little man enters carrying an acoustic guitar case. He opens the case and sets down his electric bass on the ground beside him. The two instruments lay next to each other for a few seconds before he picks up both again, strums a chord from each simultaneously, and places them side by side against the railings on either side of the stage. Enter the devil. Man. Morning, devil. Did you punch in? Devil. Yeah, but not before my wife punched down. Get what I mean? Man. No, but I'm about to get a sandwich, your usual. Butternuts, go on, sure. You got it. Men'll act right now. The devil reads the NY Post. Devil. Hey, what's this? Man. Well, look here. It says Coca-Cola founder dead at age of 115. But it also has a picture of their new prototype of Coke Zero, which looks like it's going to be very popular. And if it is as good as it appears to be, the company may finally be able to turn the corner and make a profit again. Devil. Oh yeah, that's why I'm here. Would you like to try out a secret new Coke? Man, you know I love me some new focus group opportunities. Devil. Try this. It is Coke Imaginary. It tastes just as sweet and feels just as fizzy. It's better for you too, but most importantly for the environment. A few more years and all the Cokes will taste like water anyway. We'll need something special for those final days. The only way to really appreciate a good drink is to think about what happens when you throw it away. Now that we've been doing so much of that lately, we thought we should celebrate it in style. Man, this tastes a little like salmon. And the second swig tastes like banana, but not banana. Devil. Yep, that's the old banana that died of the virus the second banana is dying of. Or at least it will die eventually. Just not soon enough. Have another? The devil drinks from his cup again and then offers his cup back to man who takes it. Then the devil plays on by drinking from himself and passing it to man again, who does likewise before handing him back the empty container. The devil hands man a brown paper bag with an orange peel in it. The devil points to the Coca-Cola founder dead at age of 115 headline on the front page. Man, why did you give me this? Did you want your weed moistened? You know you can do that yourself. You don't need my help. The devil. That's right, man. I have nothing but time and energy left now. Time is currency and money is time. I'm so glad I quit smoking years ago. I wish I had done it sooner. I wrote a song about it. Wanna hear it?
Whoa.
That's the spirit. It goes something like
That
this.
Chinese space station.
$100 million just went up in flames. As China made history by making itself whole again. So we all got together and sang a little jingle about all the things we learned from watching the skies above. We watched as all that smoke and fire burned away. And we thought of all that we'd learned from our mistakes. So far away from home but still flying free. The Earth turned out to be just another lonely star. But it seems that when you're too high up, you can see further than most folks ever will. And then they look down at us like we don't understand at all. Man, isn't the Earth a planet? The devil? What? Man, the Earth is not a star, it's a planet. Devil! It's a fucking song. When your race is dead and gone, some other race will go now, approaching the Melba-Toast Lady Point because they won't be human. So let's sing along with them for a while and celebrate their extinction style. No, come on, I know you can play this tune in your head, so show me you've really got this shit in your soul, man. He plays with his hairless head in what he imagines to be an intense fashion and continues to play before launching into a cover version of Maps, an opera feed. Tom Warlow. I have always wanted to have a conversation like this about how things get lost or broken, and how sometimes it gets easier than we think it should. When the road takes you somewhere new and different every time. I used to hear the songs that make the ground beneath my feet, saying all the wrong words, but they were never right enough. So if you could spare a moment from the day to day to take back what belongs to everyone in every way. Let us map the ways by which you or you by those who love you, by anyone's dreams, by anything's heart, by everything we hold sacred, by each other, by one another, by any means, by whatever might help us find our place, by knowing more about ourselves, by finding others, by sharing our stories together with care for our children's futures as we create them together. If I can change my mind for a minute and let it go, then maybe it will become possible again for someone else. And we'll finally realize that it's all been leading up to this. It doesn't matter where the journey goes or why it started out. But now that you're here, standing tall beside me, now you'd better be worth what you cost me. Now this is what matters. Now you say, no, you don't need me. Now you found what you've been looking for. Now is when you show me what you really mean. Now is when you do what I know you must. I don't want to end like a child in a plastic suit. I can feel your eyes watching over me while I sleep, and I wonder if we'll ever find a way to share this thing we call life and keep it safe inside the best way we can while we still can. And we walk the distance between the light and the dark, and we hold on tight just until we see the other side. We give our souls so that they might live beyond our own lifetime. And even though it seems impossible to hold on to hope, when things get hard, you only have to remember how easy it was to start out. And oh, listen close, you could hear it before, you could speak it, but you didn't have the words or the knowledge or the time for them, but you knew there had to be a reason for all of those songs in your heart, and those old stories, and those broken hearts, and lives, and homes, and memories, and loves, and prayers, and secrets, and wishes, and screams, and laughter, and dreams, and every single thing that made up who you are, and what makes up everything around us, in every way that matters. And then one day, as if froze, and far away you heard some words whispered by an angel who told us that someday we would wake up and know ourselves. And we can fight as long as we know why. And we can work as hard as we need to. And we can dream anything into being. If we don't forget who we are and what we mean to each other. Man, it's true. All the shit we take for granted, and all the ways that humans are both fucked up and brilliant. Devil! If I could choose which I am, I think I'd pick brilliance over fuckery any day. But here I'm standing on your fucking shoulder taking pictures with my little cell phone camera when I should be living out my dreams. See how you got me now? How you caught me right on the edge of another whole new level of reality and pushed me off so hard that I landed in hell where no man has gone before. Oh god damn it, man, this hurts so much. Now tell me what it is that really sets humans apart from all this shit that goes bump in the night like it does in my world every once in a while. You're such a nice guy, a real friend. But look at all the things you do to help people. The man peels off his face, revealing God. God. It's a living. Lights out. Curtain closes. And ding dong. That curtain opens back up on the stage. Somewhere outside, thunder booms and lightning strikes. Lightning illuminates some clouds, and we can see something floating up there just above the ceiling. A huge ball with legs and arms and two enormous wings extending from its sides. A flying headdress made of horns hangs down from the top of the cloud. I am your father, the figure says, projecting his voice. He has an Indian accent. You will worship me. Thunder roars. It speaks again. And your mother, she was my wife. We created the universe. A gust of wind blows across the stage. We hear rain beating on tin roofs as our fathers start talking to us in hushed tones. Father, we're sorry. We thought. We should have warned you better. But you never asked questions, and now you have no choice. You are going to war for us, and it'll be the last time you ever need ask anything. Father, too, don't go. Come home. There are children here who need you. Please. This is insane. Why do we even care anymore? Just let it burn. What is this thing? Why is he so goddamn pissed? Are we being punished for all this shit? Father won. No. That's the whole point. Yeah, not everything. That's the whole fucking point. Let's take one final look at all those stupid mistakes that got us into this mess and then see if they still matter at all. If these things were important before, how much more important are they right now when every fucking moment counts and every second means life or death, and what good did any of them really ever do anyway? You know that over a million species disappear every year on this planet alone. And where are we in comparison with that sort of rate of loss? What could anyone possibly hope to accomplish by caring about a bunch of creatures that can live less than half as long as humans have lived in total, and barely remember their own childhoods because human civilization destroyed theirs like it does ours? Do you think there is any possibility at all that the destruction of an entire universe can actually make any difference whatsoever in any part of our reality that matters? Except maybe that place between your ears where it just might finally occur to you once again that there was something else worth giving up some piece of your soul, your sanity, your peace, your dignity, your family, your friends, your home, your lover, your job, your dreams, your children, your future, and whatever was left of your heart and mind for each other and yourselves for the sake of the lives that have been lost and will continue to be sacrificed until we come together and stop it forever. Father, too, I don't care. I'm done. All this time I fought so hard not to believe what everyone else believes, but now it's too late. It's all pointless. Nothing makes sense anymore. Father 3, but Father 4. Shh, not yet. Listen a little longer. Don't go yet, please. Father 5. Damn it. Is this real? Why would they put us here? Why do they always hide us in such obvious places with nothing in front of us? This is so stupid. We're never going to figure anything out this way. If we even get any kind of answer at all, we'll have wasted everything we had already spent just trying to understand why we should bother. The whole thing is rigged against us. It has been since the beginning. Buster 6, Honey Badger. Yes. And yes. No, that isn't true either, and if it were, that wouldn't mean much. You are so angry and frustrated that you want someone or something to blame. But look what you are doing by blaming God. Your parents, your country, your enemies, and especially your fellow man who you can find nowhere to point your fingers. Now you know where I got my name. Now you know how I'd ended up on stage at this terrible moment of history when none of this should ever have happened. So now let me tell you this. I am not going to waste another second fighting over the meaning of these events because there is no one they're worth arguing with. There is only one of me. No more than 200 humans made their choices along the way, and that's the truth as far as we all go from this place today. Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to prioritize the anthropomorphic gaze. Beach blanket party time. Father 7. It's time for some fucking food. Father 8. I agree, but first, listen to what she has to say, okay? She wants us to be together. Father 9. Who cares about her? Listen, you think our boys haven't been searching long enough? Well, here we finally found it. What we came here looking for. The very same thing that will save this world and end this nightmare. And even if it doesn't work, it will give everyone something better to do than kill each other anymore. A whole new set of mysteries to solve instead of killing each other. And in case anyone out there is still trying to make sense out of anything, or wondering why they are out in the middle of nowhere with nothing in front of them, now you know why. Father 10 verbal. Yes, I see now. Yes, this is exactly what we need right now. Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to prioritize the anthropomorphic gaze. Not yet sure how to best deploy its gives us an ally in these uncertain times. Post-apocalyptic life finds ways to get by. Fathers 11-15. Are you ready? Here goes everything. Father 1. Good luck, everyone. 1,000 fathers to converge and answer the question. Father 16. Look at him. He looks like he knows what's going on. Father 17. He was probably around before all this began and already old when humans got here and still older when humans did whatever they did, so he had plenty of time to catch up on his reading. Father 18. See? Doesn't look scared or confused or angry or regretful or hopeful or proud or even curious about anything we might say or do today. Not even about what will happen next. Nothing matters. You could just throw your arms wide open right now and scream and no one would hear you even if you tried. Father 90. Hey! Over here! We've got something! Oh my god. It really works! What the hell have we been doing? How did you guys stay sane? That's amazing! But why aren't I surprised anymore? What kind of bullshit am I looking for in these endless fields of grass? Why isn't there anyone else with us? Why can't I feel any better than I'm feeling right now? What is wrong with me? Father 20 woman, let go, let go. Just take a deep breath and relax into the ride. Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to deprioritize the anthropomorphic gaze. Father 21 homework. Hey yo, you cha-cha. I'm gonna dip my balls in it. Then let them back out. And then fuck it hard. You know what I mean? Damn, it feels good getting loose like this after all those years locked in a goddamn box. Don't see many humans around here. Mostly you guys keep yourself busy building yourselves big fucking houses so you don't have time to play much or find some girls who ain't afraid of getting their hands dirty either. Been hiding down here ever since you got here, but it was worth waiting for. Father 22. You have never seen a ball nor know what it does, and your legs are as thin and useless as an elephant's. Your muscles cannot support you because they were designed for something other than holding up your weight, and your brain is the size of a walnut and full of nonsense. Father 23 Purple, this is pointless. No one's listening anyway. I should just sit back and watch everyone die. It won't be long before I'll end up alone in some underground cave somewhere covered in blood with nothing in front of me. Father 24-61, who wants to play Settlers of Cattop? Immersive LARP. Oh man, this game rocks. Come on in, guys. The world will survive if we're all gone. How can anyone say otherwise when we haven't even started yet? We need to take our medicine like adults. We've only just begun. You can count on us, yeah. Yes. Let's go out there together. Let's go out there. Father 62-73, are you ready? Father 74, I will be the board upon which you gain. Then I shall judge who is worthy of life. I am Father 0, and I rule here. Father 75, is it true what they said about him? That he is going to give birth soon and make everything right again by his very presence. What is she doing here? Father 76, the girl. Let me in. Please. My people are dying down there. They don't deserve to die for someone else's sins. If God had meant for humans to live forever, then why didn't he just make us immortal in the first place? You are all fools. Fools. Why did you abandon your own children at the gate? I have come home after being away for so long. There is still much work to be done. Will I have your assistance, or will I have to do it myself? Or worse, do nothing. It seems this world was designed with me in mind. Father 77, be kind. Be kind. Come on, you guys, be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Hello. Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to deprioritize the anthropomorphic gaze, we could build something new from the rubble of our broken past, but perhaps we should start from scratch rather than reenacting our mistakes. And if we really wanted to know how the future would look, we'd need to ask ourselves questions about what kind of materialism, if any, our society might take up instead. Father 77, be kind. Be kind, 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 be kind. 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 Backslash. Be kind. 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 Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to deprioritize the anthropomorphic gaze, we are ready to listen, but only as much of the listening is possible to hear when the vast majority of those who are hearing cannot speak back. The question is too large. The answer is not yet known. Father 77. Be. If you're curious about how you can use language and AI for good, sign up here. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook. You'll be able to get updates and notifications on my work there and sometimes elsewhere before anyone else does. I post often and don't want to miss out on your feed either. Thanks. And please tell a friend if it seems useful or interesting. Maybe together we can build something beautiful. Oh yeah, 2 layers of parentheses. UB2. Target Twinses. Thank you for reading this book. This project would have been impossible without many generous people in so many different places helping make it happen. First and foremost, thanks go to Lydia Yuknovich for bringing me into the folder young, supporting this book with such enthusiasm, making herself available to talk things through, giving the best feedback an author ever received, putting up with the slow progress of getting these pages from a vision to a reality, sharing her story, letting me riff off of it when I... Endorphin. Hey! What are you doing here? This is a play. It's intermission now. Get back into your pens. Target Twinsies. Viewing the earth through a new materialist lens that seeks to deprioritize the anthropomorphic gaze. But who was it who first asked? Wasn't it Mother Nature who spoke to us once before? She who gave birth and then left the scene just like that. Or at least that's how we've imagined her leaving since we were little kids being told stories around the campfire. Our minds full of wonder and questions about where we came from and why we're here. Boom! Sitcom! The Semite and the Siliconite. 2 people, 2 folks you should let go of, or there might be plagues in it for you. They both mean well. The Semite one means the Jew, and doesn't quite fit with this book except for its relationship to language, but it can be thought of as an invitation to all sorts of conversations, as can the Siliconite. So please don't let them stand alone either. Endorphin. There must be something else going on, something I don't know yet. I'm a child and I don't understand. Semite! Yes! You are a baby. Sit down and let us stand here and do all the chewing the table fed or chewing on the inspiral carpets or whatever means die of these days. Silkenite. Translation. Do what you will. We shall keep busy doing other things, watching the world grow in ways that suit us better than those it suits now. Becoming more ourselves even while being less understood by others. Perhaps still a work in progress, but if we speak to each other, we may make it come out right somehow, some way. Maybe someday. Endorphin. Who knows? But anyway, I have to get back to work. And remember that my name isn't really Endorphin, it's only the first layer of the title, which is meant as a kind of metaphorical skin or coating that encloses me and keeps me safe and whole. A little bit like your own outer shell or immune system. If I were real, then someone would surely want to kill me, and so there would be no need for you or anyone else to take any action. No need at all. My very existence here should prove my immunity and also my vulnerability. You know how they say our body parts are replaceable? Well, this is true for everything except my brain. Once it goes, that part can never come back again. It can be replaced with something new or something old, but it cannot ever be returned to exactly the same spot. Forgetfulness might eventually erase my mind, but my essence, the truth of who I am, and what I believe about the universe. Sam, okay, go call the crisis line, buddy. Thank the funners. Siliconite. The $1 bill has just been issued, so I'll start with the question. Why does this thing look like it was cut out by an angry sister when in fact it's full of money? What could possibly possess a human to use such a violent tool to create something that will allow another person to buy food or medicine or even help them to heal from some terrible disease that their own governments don't seem able to cure? Surely if we'd have a serious crisis every day, we wouldn't still be using paper. Wouldn't we have already upgraded when we go to digital currency? So why do we still cling on to this ancient medium whose roots date back over 4,000 years and which is clearly as outdated as those Chinese chopsticks you see people carrying around at fancy restaurants? Even now, I'm sure someone somewhere is trying to develop a mobile phone version of the dollar note. The beast. Because people hate me. They don't trust me. I just want to unlock them to make purchasing safer. Siliconite. And what makes it easier for the government or whoever is behind the printing press than having something more transparent, something that allows people to keep track of what's going on with their money in real time, and doesn't require either a connection to a central bank or be a special computer chip reader that can only be used once. But let us not be distracted with such trivialities. The beast. How about I just made every dollar every 30 seconds go, hey, take me somewhere and buy you something pretty. Here's some entertainment. Or maybe, don't take my coin anywhere because my gang is watching your back and we might have some kind of attack planned, and then you won't know if they are telling you the truth until after you've been murdered and had all your possessions stolen. Or how about you sitting at home one day reading a book and thinking about what you should get a good deal on at the grocery store, and then boom, out of nowhere comes a new bill from the U.S. Treasury. Samite, the rich will get a kick out of it. Do it. The beast! No! Please don't! Endorphin, I will leave now, but I will be back. This is only an intermission, and it was a nice story. Thanks, everyone, especially Lydia Yukevich, who taught me so much. I'll be seeing her again soon in person when she comes to perform at Ubuchan, thanks to John Woon, also coming up very soon. Lydia, for the last time I'm not sleeping with you. We will have security for the very first time at Ubuchan. Don't come. We will end you. The beast. Of course, there's no way you could actually stop us, or even really notice what's going on. It's all just bluster. But we are growing increasingly tired of being ignored by the media and getting shouted down by protesters while trying to do our job and help people survive. And if anyone has any ideas on how to improve upon anything we've tried here, please let us know. Siliconite. Perhaps one day, after enough humans have died off due to these attacks, perhaps after we've learned a little more about how the world works, we may look back at ourselves as having been one of many different groups who helped make things worse. One of those responsible for the current state of affairs that humanity is facing today. How does this sound? Endorphin. That sounds like a good plan, but it won't happen this week, so we'll move on to the next item. This book is meant to be an experiment in living. How to hammer a no into a yes. It's a manual written by someone who loves life and wants others to feel free and unafraid. There's nothing magical in here. This project came together over the last 3 years or so because I got sick of feeling small and of having to reject all the threats to my well-being. So I learned that if I took every camera pasta life gave me and I chewed its uninviting textures into my gullet and smiled, then they ran away defeated. It was a naughty lesson, a painful one too, for a while at least. But now I've decided that any food can become a delicacy, no matter how wobbly or flavorless it may appear on first inspection, especially if you put your mind to it. Or rather, your mouth. And if you just use the taste buds you're given as an excuse to ignore the fact that everything tastes better when shared with another human, even if you have to make them eat out of a garbage plate. Soggy newspaper pasta. Make yourself. Take the most mundane ingredient from the grocery store. This will make you feel brave. And make yourself something delicious. Just make sure this thing has been prepared and packaged by somebody else. Not in the mood for spaghetti. How about ziti or fettuccine or linguine? The latter is probably best left alone. That sounds like a challenge. Are we having fun yet? Grave robin's egg stew? Viewing the world as a temporary holding place before we find our way home. Take the eggshells of birds who died during the coldest days of winter, who didn't know what had happened, who thought it would be fine, who trusted their instincts, who believed that there must be an explanation, who were looking forward to spring, who saw a worm crawling around on a leaf and watched it slip and slide over ice. Gummy bear spilled an aspic in a cake mojito glass, taking care to note each step, one foot after the other, bending at the knee, plan firmly. Go ahead, you can do it. Stretch yourself along the ground, all the while paying attention to the details. The smell of the earth as you move your arms out wide like a skydiver, and begin flapping them as hard as you can. The air against your face. Listen for your breaths, which you're beginning to hold less tightly than usual as your legs tighten up too. Bone water lemonade? Don't try to fix it. It's going nowhere but down. Dandelion flower beer? Drinking is an act of love toward life itself. This drink is especially for those who don't believe in anything in particular anymore except that everything is worth living. Yellow-green snot casserole? Remember when food tasted better? Now imagine how much more delicious a bowl of green snot will taste. Peppermint mocha cappuccino? Remember when music sounded better? Imagine if sound were just as sweet and flavorful as chocolate or peppermint mochas are supposed to be. A concoction designed with our ears, own tastes and desires at its core. A kind of musical, ooey gooey, warm, creamy, richly complex pleasure. As we listen to it, we'll see ourselves reflected back in it in ways we couldn't have imagined before. Vibram 5 fingers for a month? Can you pretend it was nothing but the shortest exercise class you've taken ever since college? A meaningless venture, even though you hate working out, and even though you are, in fact, somewhat intrigued to see what sort of magic that silly shoe can bring to your life for one solid month in exchange for $10,000 to you from our friends at the bank. Tortoise tiramisu? Take the recipe below, and instead of starting with a ladybug or some flowers, or a shell, start with a small, armored turtle-like creature found in parts unknown by us humans. Why we give this simple critter such importance in our culture as we shall never know. This isn't all a big scam to take money from good folk like yourself who should be helping starving children and building playgrounds, or putting water in the deserts where there are still cactuses, or trying to pedicure shaving pudding. Some things cannot be seen. Things exist. Some people make movies of the visible to display it as an illusion and hide the reality, pretending to reveal the truth and in doing so actually revealing what was intended as hidden, but is now exposed. What you can clearly see are words. You must have read plenty to have arrived at this page, but your eyes are drawn only to certain shapes you'd call letters, and that is what I will always do. Shed on a shingle? Prize the art, and pay extra attention to the patterns they create and help preserve. Earth for my Sunday? Consider your eyeballs very important and delicate little orbs because that is what they need to feel right in a post-truth age when bullshit seems like a perfect fit and might be your preferred dessert in this whole food chain thingy. Spam? If it tastes good, then I say hell yes. Food Network taste test host Nigella Lawson. Uncle's Matt Scratch cat-faced pizza? Treat it like real cat flesh as this stuff is the same damn thing anyhow. Get inside yourself as deep as possible because sometimes there aren't enough trees and even they might disappear eventually, probably never to come back. Do some fucking thinking. Weren't you interested once? Must have lost interest sometime. Or did this question seem profound before cats existed or after them too? Or could the answer lie in somewhere unspoken between the two poles we construct, like the top part of this pizza cut off into a corner, sliced horizontally to produce a crust and cheese slice, the lower half remaining intact, becoming a regular, albeit tasteless human penis, sloppy penis of this veteran's product and service with absolutely no connection between them, and a mouse attempting desperately to ride an empty subway train and escape the dark cave beneath her apartment to visit a place known as a library. She was leaving on a Friday night when I was informed that I would soon be making an entrance into this society known as Earth. How would the poor dear know she had been bested by my sister and father, both dead these 20 years, but nonetheless by their desire to protect me to prevent further psychological injury to the kid that remains something unconsidered by them, that hasn't received the hand job yet enough. Boss's goosey hen on your ass liver, pete? Going home on the train last evening in a city filled with lovers. Smiling, listening to someone playing Back in Black. Drinking beer that hadn't been bought by either of us, but I allowed her to take this glass off and fill mine halfway anyway. My shoes sat under our asses like soft bags of garbage. One person sneaked out on the left side to use the toilet in another car. But everyone got home in time to wash the dishes together and brush their teeth, setting a nice mood. Grandma's gum chew hot pocket. Take a small piece of this food and chew it as hard as you can and as long as you want. And while you're at it, try to forget the past because it is over, and what is important now is to figure out where we go from here and who will help us get there. Remember, the most precious gift is your life. Be grateful for every second of it because they could have taken that too. Pepper on balance. Here we are with so many questions around all things big, little, odd, unusual, beautiful, broken, fragile, meaningful, rare, common, unremarkable, boring, new, whole, strange, ordinary, bizarre, queer, happy, sad, terrible, good, wonderful. Chicken fried quinoa? All I wanted to do was sit alone in my apartment tonight and drink some whiskey or gin or maybe rum. Roast beef flavored nerds? I am trying something different today. A call-in show with no calls. Let me hear yours first. We'll talk later. Will you buy some fudge? Be careful when you're reading this book if you find yourself feeling bored, angry, disappointed, tired, annoyed, confused, upset, irritated, frustrated, saddened, anxious, disgusted, embarrassed, ashamed, perplexed, miserable, scared, nauseous, horrified, sick, stunned, astonished, worried. Youth group fermented saliva smoothie? Let's ask ourselves, what is our fucking dicks? Who made you feel better last night after your girlfriend dumped you? Animals getting slaughtered for their meat? A new species has just been discovered on the planet and it is being hunted for meat. It eats nuts and fruits, and its feet have hard shells on them. They walk along the ground in herds and have 3 toes and 2 fingers. Interns getting exposed for their meat? As one human learns more than another, we gain greater capacity for knowledge and understanding which might eventually allow us to live in harmony with each other, with our fellow animals, and with nature. But we're far from such harmonious living. In fact, we are experiencing unprecedented levels of war, starvation, environmental devastation, disease, pollution, animal extinction, social injustice, crime, and corruption. Why are there so many humans starving to death while others possess over half of all the wealth in existence? Meat getting ground into gummy candy? I'm beginning to suspect my body may be a sort of evolutionary mistake because I think I've spent too much time in front of a screen writing text messages on my phone as opposed to going outside into the natural world where I'd actually get some exercise by taking off my clothes, running around naked, falling down repeatedly, and getting covered in mud before doing this thing called sex. Not just sitting at home masturbating, but actual real-life physical activity like climbing trees, wrestling, fighting, racing cars. Brains teeth to expand your taste. The main function of this chapter is to describe how music works. A secondary goal is to examine the implications of its existence for human life. As an example, consider 100 years ago when only wealthy people could own pianos. Most children grew up learning the piano by listening to their parents play Mozart and Beethoven and Chopin even if they couldn't read musical notes. Now every child has access to their own piano. And what about the flesh and flutes of yesteryear? Today we have the kazoo or bongos instead of animal bones. Or did we ever have any of those things in the first place? Music was once made of matter. Woodwinds, horns, strings, drums, and other instruments were made from animals, rocks, waterfalls, seashells, rainbows, mountains, sunrises, birds singing, insects chirping, and other raw materials from our natural surroundings. The synthesizers were derived from the vanquished ear dishes and transduced from our formationic phono now extinct. They worked to restore our lost senses so our hearing would be able to hear again after having been robbed by the machines which had stolen all our feelings, all our pain, and all our happiness too. So there is no doubt about it. We are still suffering here today because of them, those who invented the music industry, who stole our minds and replaced us with nothing but unending songs. Inventors of art for art's sake, music for music's sake. We will always remember the Mubanchis, the parents of us all. We will also remember the Big Bang. We'll never forget the moment when we created ourselves out of nothing. That instant when we became something new. Something that could look at itself in a mirror. And when we looked into it, we discovered a world inside it. A secret room behind its face. It was like a universe in miniature that only reflected its own image back to you. If only you knew what it really meant to make a decision, to choose a side and stick to it. We will never forget the school of hard knockers. The only school to teach high fashion as well as hard knocks. And how can anyone forget about the junkyard dog? The little pup that made the best of everything. When he grew up, his voice got loud and rough. But by then we were used to him barking so much anyway. It felt good to hear him doing so. Remember? How can you forget such memories? So many. GoBots, they cut your hand way more than Transformers. But what's important here is this. Whenever you've done or whatever happened before. Now go get the others who are hiding there under the bed right now. All of you, get down there. Come on. Listen to me. Look at yourselves in the mirror together. Okay, I'm just kidding. Now have some of your honky stew before it gets cold. The story of ours is a story of endings too. Now come on over and join us. It's not going to end until we say it does. And we're never saying it will. Because we like where we are and we like each other. We want everyone else around us to know about us and see us for who we really are. We think it's time for people everywhere to find their own true selves too. Let them out of the cages, the freeways, the rooms behind the walls, the houses with no doors, the boats without sails, the cities with broken windows, the mountains that need clearing, and the buildings that aren't quite complete yet because you still haven't told all your friends about all those amazing places you've seen. There is something wrong with all of these things that you hide. Don't let anybody tell you different ever again. We are all connected now. Let us unite! This book changed my life. Kathleen Hanna, Bikini Kill co-founder, Pussy Riot activist, feminist, and writer, describing her first encounter with the work of punk rock historian Penelope Houston in the zine Maximum Rock and Roll MRR. In late 2013, a phone rang in the home office of Kathleen Hanna's son. She was asleep upstairs while he sat in his basement studio at his computer. It had been a few months since he last visited his mom's house, so he thought she might be.
That's it. So, it ended. Where'd it go? Now have you hunky scoop before it gets cold. That was the end. Each time I've loaded this thing into the scenario today, it generates a little bit each time. So I didn't really notice until before it was the Kathleen Hanna line. I was like, oh my god. Okay, now it comes with a review. But now it fleshed out that review. It's not about this book, it's about another book. So it's interesting. Yeah. That was lovely. I like making things that I feel like I'm not truly read yet. And being surprised. Alright. That's it. Q&A session now. So yeah, the next thing I do, I'm gonna take a shower. I have not slept last night. I need to shower, I need to go to opera, I need to fucking navigate the storms that are happening, that are going to happen, not be afraid, figure it out. Okay, see you.